The air feels thick, heavy with a latent energy. It's a day nestled deep within late summer, the 239th day of the year, a point where the vibrant pulse of summer begins a subtle shift towards something quieter. You've been carrying a quiet hum of dissatisfaction lately, a sense of being slightly out of sync, and this day amplifies it, not as a negative, but as a catalyst. The waxing crescent moon suggests nascent possibilities, things just beginning to form, but the current astrological tapestry calls for careful attention to detail. The pull of Mercury and Venus whispers about communication and values. Recent interactions, even seemingly minor ones, are bubbling under the surface. Someone's words landed differently than you initially perceived, a subtle misinterpretation creating an unexpected ripple. The urge will be to clarify, to explain, but remember the moon's gentle invitation. It's not about asserting your viewpoint. Instead, learning to truly listen without interrupting or judging is the crux of the morning. It may involve a conversation with a family member or a colleague. Resist the impulse to defend. Simply absorb what is being said, seek the feeling behind it. The key is observing, not reacting. If that involves a small apology or acknowledging another's perspective, do it readily. That action will unlock a surprising ease. The opposing influence of Uranus pulls at the edges, disrupting routines and presenting unexpected options. You might receive an email or a phone call offering something entirely new, a professional opportunity, a chance encounter, or even just a different route to work. It might feel disruptive, even unsettling. Uranus thrives on shaking things up. It's less about what is comfortable and more about what is possible. Pluto's presence grounds that chaotic energy, pushing a demand for realigning existing structures with deeper values. This influence urges you to reevaluate if the choices made in the past were serving you. Perhaps you've been clinging to a belief, a pattern, a relationship that no longer fits. It will feel unnerving to let go, like severing a familiar anchor, but within that release lies the potential for genuine growth. Think about a situation where you haven't been your own champion, where self-doubt has held you back. What would I do differently if I loved myself 10% more? Consider a specific action, a conversation you avoided, a creative project you shelved, a boundary you didn't establish. Today, take a small step in that direction. It doesn't need to be monumental. A simple act of self-compassion, a declaration of your worth, is enough. The push and pull between Capricorn and Aquarius speaks to a growing internal conflict. Capricorn's structure and discipline clashes with Aquarius's desire for liberation and unconventionality. Perhaps this manifests as a yearning to move. Moving to a new city or country might be a persistent thought. Even if a full relocation isn't feasible, consider what it represents. It's not necessarily about geography, but about shedding limitations and embracing a wider perspective. You're recognizing a need for autonomy, developing a strong sense of self-sufficiency and independence. This doesn't mean isolating yourself. It means relying on your inner resources and trusting your own judgment. Imagine for a moment you are an elderly lighthouse keeper, weathered and worn by decades of solitude and storm. You're tasked with communicating the patterns of the tides to a young apprentice, a boisterous soul eager for adventure. You're compelled to explain with slow, measured tones that the most dangerous storms aren't always the most obvious. They're the subtle shifts, the seemingly insignificant ripples that can build into a catastrophic wave. The apprentice chafes at your caution, yearning to chart a course of his own. You understand that yearning, but you're bound by the knowledge that true mastery comes from observation, patience, and an unwavering commitment to understanding the underlying forces. Your quiet resilience, forged in years of solitude, becomes the apprentice's guide. The pull you feel, the nagging sense of being slightly off-kilter, isn't random. You unknowingly hold the answer to a mystery long forgotten, a key to unlocking a hidden potential. This day isn't about finding the answer directly. It's about becoming attuned to the signals, the subtle vibrations that point the way. It's about cultivating the patience to observe, the courage to listen, and the faith to trust the unfolding of your own unique journey. Thank you for listening. If you like what I do, please consider to leave a like or even subscribe.